I was at one of the breweries at the festival, and I was just holding mini Flex, and one of the guys pouring was like, "What are you carrying around?" I was like, "Oh, this is Flex," and he just looks at me even more confused. I was like, "So we do a podcast. Wait, this is my co-host. You gotta make it out. So we bring Flat Flex everywhere we go now." And he's like, all right," like not amused. Didn't think it was funny.
That doesn't sound like a fun guy.
Yeah, I was like, your beer's not good anyways, so whatever.
Yeah, seriously. Skip. Next booth.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg. I am being joined by that big buff and in 3D this time, Flexi himself. What's up, bud?
I'm still kind of flat through the screen, but
That's true.
yeah, it feels like forever since I've talked to you.
I know. It's been like a weird reset with the GABF schedule, and like we haven't. It's been a few weeks, and
Yeah, like, I don't know if people knew we were on like a hiatus, even though like we weren't, because the episodes drop every week. But
Right, yeah, we just recorded a couple extra, and I did some magic, and yeah.
But alas, I'm really happy to see you.
And you big fella,
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Aw.
So sweet.
and here to break up the sausage fest. Thank God. You're all welcome. And to also corroborate my stories about GABF, it is she who is still recovering the saltiest of all the sailors, head of
Hey,
the Nosh. What's happening?
I feel like I should give you guys a few more minutes just to kind of like rekindle that flame. And
It'll rekindle over and over throughout the
it's
episode.
pretty natural.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good.
every episode.
I mean, let's be honest. Did the flame ever unkindle?
No, that's not a thing.
No,
Oh,
it's just
absence makes the heart grow fonder, right, guys?
yeah.
Our love is like the Canadian wildfires, because I'm pretty sure they're still going on.
Ouch. Sorry, Canada. I was going to say it was like the Olympic torch, like it just, burns forever or whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot more positive.
Yeah, it's uplifting and whatnot. So,
Those
anyways.
fires just better stay away from dildo. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, my
No
goodness.
burning down dildo. That is going to be part of our
Atlantic
world tour. Like, first stop, dildo. Second stop,
Second
Finland.
stop, Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gas up the
Priorities.
jet. Yeah. All right. If you guys are on the socials, make sure you follow us at Craft Beer Republic, at neck_nosh_LLC, and Flex Me a Beer _ in between. Huge shout out to our top listing city of last week, and I have never seen this pop up before, but Raymond, Ohio. What's up, Raymond, Ohio?
Yeah, okay, what up?
Ohio.
Midwest, let's go.
Yeah. What do they say? In Ohio, do they have any like weird, Midwesty things like you guys do in Wisconsin?
I don't know. Ohio's weird because it's Midwest. Like Indiana's Midwest too.
Yeah.
But the further south you go, it gets real south real quick. And Ohio is very similar to that. So.
It's probably on that border too of like almost the South.
Yeah, because technically I think Indiana was like back in the old Confederacy.
Oh,
It was
okay.
actually a southern state.
Oh,
I think
know
so.
that.
I might be wrong.
any
I'm not a
history nerds
historian.
out there? You let us know. But anyways, shout out to Raymond, Ohio, whatever it's south or north you're in. All right, before we get underway, with so much talk, of course, Erica and I are gonna recap GA and Flex. Flex was there too.
I was there.
In spirit and paper. We're gonna recap GABF. We've got some booze news to get to, a little bit of news flight too. Some big
You haven't said that in a long time.
booze news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't said that in a long
I'm a
time.
big fan of that one.
I like that. I need to get back to that. I was calling it the full pour and booze news, and anyways, news nonetheless, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But before we get into anything important,
guns.
before we get into all that, let's get into some hydration. Thanks to Erica, and I believe you brought this down on your trip when Flat Flex first emerged.
Oh, is that one?
I think so. The little debut of Flat Flex.
The old emergence of Flat Flex.
There's always a way to tie in the flat flex,
Right.
isn't there?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Thanks to Erica. Her and I are both drinking Delusional, a juicy double IPA from Worthy Brewing up in Bend, Oregon. It's 8.5%, has 55 IBUs, has a 381 and Untapped out of 426 ratings, and they say Delusional isn't an India Pale Ale, it's an insane pale ale.
Whoa, look out!
We dry hop not once, not twice, but 3 times with a massive amount of Citra and Mosaic hops to slap you in the face with tropical fruitiness and huge notes of citrus.
They should have said insane notes of citrus.
Oh, that would have been better. Opportunity missed. Hops are Citra, Mosaic, and Mosaic. All right, there you go. I'm glad they didn't call it a hazy. It doesn't have the color of a hazy. They went juicy. Thank you for appropriately naming your beer.
Yeah, that was smart. Something we tried this in the tap room when we were visiting Bend over, I think it was Easter.
Bend over.
And, Bend over.
Nailed it.
How did I tie those two
Thank
together?
you. I caught it, but I was drinking. I'm so glad Flex picked that one up.
Woo! Bend over the weekend. Did you? Yeah, that's a good weekend. So yeah, and I was mistaking it for a hazy, and then I realized it said juicy, and then that made sense because once again, it doesn't look like hazy, but it's delicious. This is actually like almost 6 months old in the can, and the aroma is just, I love that like Citra aroma as you pour it. I could catch it right away.
The triple
classic.
dry hop will do that.
Yeah.
So good.
And you're right. It's like exactly 6 years or 6 years, 6 months.
6 years old.
We call this an archive beer. It's exactly 6 months old according to the bottom of the can. And it hasn't lost anything. A lot of citrus on the schnoz. The tongue follows, and with a fair bit of dank resin on the end to round it out and make it a little nod to the West as well.
Definitely. I think it's even worth a little more than a 3.81, but definitely at least that 3.81. I really enjoy this one. And 8.5%, they'll get nice and warmed up for the
That's
show.
perfect,
So
yeah.
Those are some algorithm numbers right there.
absolutely.
Daddy like.
How is that triple dry hop on that, by the way? Because my least favorite thing about triple dry hop beers is you almost get like that film in your mouth, like after smoking a cigar,
Sure.
and then you kind of got that smoky leftover. That's kind of how I get with the triple dry hops on the IPAs.
Yeah, I'm not getting. I know what you're talking about. Kind of like when you drink a super like earthy dry wine too.
Yeah.
Like the tanniny feeling. I'm not getting it. Are you?
No, a little dankness, but not
Yeah.
necessarily something that lingers and hangs too
Perfect,
much.
perfect.
It's tasty.
Yeah, I like this. And I'd say the 8.5 is pretty well hidden. You get a little bit of
definitely.
warmth, but not 8.5 warmth. So don't accidentally pound a couple. Well, or do accidentally pound.
Or do. Just intentionally pound a couple. It's
Yeah.
Bend over weekend, everyone.
Hey, Bend, Oregon.
Get some.
Bend, Oregon
Worthy.
should have an over festival. So it's the Bend Over Fest. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, they really should. They really should. And
It's
Worthy
actually
has a lot
kind
of
of
respect.
genius, man. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
You need to
I think
start
it would
that.
be
Opportunity missed.
well attended. I really do.
Erica's like, I'm going back home to see my family.
oh, we're not like that. I mean, come on.
No, I mean like, trip home. Wow. I should not have brought the family into this.
You really
Two
shouldn't
separate
have.
things. Trip home, drop off the kids, and
Got
then
it,
go to
got
the
it.
Bend
Yeah, then
Over
leave.
Festival. Yeah. Now I'm digging holes.
Awesome.
And the only way to climb out of that
Is with an awkward transition.
segue.
Yeah. Oh dear.
It's a farger.
I don't know. Let's move on. All right. Enough of bending over for now, at least. So I guess, week and a half ago, GABF. By the time this drops, basically 2 weeks ago,
Yeah. Dang.
GABF was going down in the old Denver. Two things I'm going to save for next week. First, I did a little research outside of Denver. I'll save that. And also, Erica may or may not have been iced. We're going to save that story for next week as well.
Lord. That's
So,
right.
I feel like there's a lot to unpack, so we'll separate these two.
It's a good idea.
So GABF, my first time there, never been before.
That's usually what first time means.
Yeah. Never.
See, I knew we needed flex here.
Thank you.
Already. We're like well educated.
Just a little
Yeah.
bit of
Continue.
relief over here. That's it.
right.
Yeah,
We
hasn't
need it.
haven't had enough flex the last few weeks. Now it's need someone to put me in my place. So
Go
Flex was
on.
my first time there. Never been there before. I don't know if you've heard. Fucker. Got into Denver a couple days before GABF. Did some eating and drinking beforehand. Got some good recs thanks to Deb and intern Brian. First of all, Ace. If you guys are in Denver, go to Ace. They have the fucking best wings. So good. Had some good beers on tap too. But anyways, so outside of GABF, I visited Our Mutual Friends Brewing. That's what it's called, Our Mutual Friends.
I like
Brewing.
that.
It was great because every time we told somebody we're going to Our Mutual Friends, they're like, oh, they're going to go over to their friend's brewery.
That's
Happened
awesome.
It happened multiple times. Like at one point, I was telling the group, our group that we'll get to in a second, and McDreamy was telling his sister, was like, yeah, so they're going to go over to their friend's brewery. I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too
Just
much.
let it go. Yeah, I probably got to the point where you're just like, let it go.
Yeah, we've all been
What?
drinking. It's too much to explain. Yes, we're going to our friend's brewery.
That is, oh my gosh, I just made the connection because he was telling me that, yeah, I believed you were going to your friend's brewery as well. Let's just say.
Spoiler alert, I did not. So went to Our Mutual Friends Brewing. Also went to Cohesion, thanks to Chaz over at Malibu Brewing. Was like, you got to go to Cohesion.
I've heard about them, yes.
All lager. First of all, Our Mutual Friends was great. We kind of had the gamut of styles there, and everything was really, really good. Cohesion was really good. It's very light lager, German, kind of Bierstadt / Enegren-esque, where it's everything's under 5%. It's all lagery stuff. It was really good. If you're looking for like a nice light lager all day fucking football beer, that stuff was good. And of course we made a stop at Bierstadt as soon as we got into Denver because it's the fucking jam. Had a bunch of slow pour, had some sausages. They have German food there. Anyways, hung out there for a while. So I went to the Denver Zoo. All right, enough of that. Let's get to GABF.
Oh, yeah.
Is there like a drum
was
roll
something.
for this?
Yeah,
Buckle up, Buttercup.
yeah. So the group consisted of the two of us here, my wife, her husband McDreamy, McDreamy's two sisters, their friend Jacob, Erica's best friend Aaron, and her brother who are married. And
Wait, and my brother. Yeah.
Oh,
not Aaron's brother.
I meant hers
No, you're
and
right.
yours.
I'm just saying because we did the whole bend over thing. I'm clarifying.
Yeah.
Continue.
and
With the family.
I think I got everybody right.
I think you did.
Okay.
Oh, my friend Carrie.
Oh, and Carrie. Sorry, Carrie.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Quite the group. So Thursday, you guys went. Well, first Wednesday, we got in there first. It was just the three of us, me, you, and the wife, and like we got in and checked out your booth and checked out the setup. Thursday was when it all went down, and you guys were slinging pretzels. And how was Thursday like crowd wise for you?
Thursday was a little quiet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, not. I mean, and that makes sense, right? I think there's a little more industry people, folks that just aren't the party crowd.
Yeah.
So it's a day to get our feet wet for sure. So yeah, it was just an introduction, getting kind of the flow of things. Friday is when, and you guys weren't there for the beginning. Friday it was freaking wild. We just nonstop.
Yeah. Friday
That's
picked
the
up.
party crowd.
Well, so Friday we got there with McDreamy and Carrie. I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours late into the session. We were
at
having
least 2
dinner.
hours, yeah.
As we walked up 2 hours into the session, people were walking out fucking hammered, just
Already.
falling over in the street. One girl fell into one of those like guardrails, like you see at like wrestling events in the 80s, you know?
Nice.
Knocks it completely over, falls over it, and then gets up and like keeps laughing. I was like, fuck, what are we walking into? This is a
It was a whole
shit
new
show.
You do one of those
folks.
big gulps and like a.
Yeah. Oh man, there was a lot going on. So then we get in there and it was definitely crowded. It was just a different vibe than Thursday. Like it was very I'm here to get fucked up vibe on Friday night, I felt. But that was also the night that we ran into Wendy and Tipsy Socks and Allie. Who else? Gordy Drinks Craft, Experimental.
Gordy, Hopped Up Syncamist. Who else was in that crowd?
And Steph introduced us to one of her brewer friends from Utah.
Helper Beer, which we reviewed
Yes,
on the podcast
exactly.
about 6 weeks ago. Yeah.
So she's like, here, this is Greg. He's the one that likes bougie beer. I was like, what? She thinks I talk shit about Utah beer. I do not talk shit about Utah beer. I talk shit about Utah.
Utah.
Yeah. Utah beer.
Well, you know.
I've not had bad beer from Utah. I haven't had a lot of beer from Utah, but I haven't had a bad one.
It's fun to joke about their laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know.
New Jersey.
And,
Which,
and then be very like exaggerate of the law.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So-
Like anytime Steph drinks something, I'm always like, "Oh, is that 3%?"
right.
But that's not a commentary on the brewery. That's on the
No,
on the
you're right,
Utah
you're right.
laws. So,
Right.
anyways, but yeah, so he was a funny guy. He was fucking shittered, and
So
it was a
hammered.
crack up because he was just talking shit about Steph the entire time. So,
Oh yeah, and he was gonna send us all beer, so we should call him out on that. So like, yeah, I was like, we reviewed beer on the podcast. He said, well, I'm sending you more. I'm gonna send you some of this. You like this? Do you like this? Bring it. So
Yeah.
we need to hold him to it.
yeah, come on,
Dang.
don't piss us off. We'll talk shit about Utah beer.
Right.
We are authorities on beer.
We are the law.
Yeah. Sounds like an insurance commercial. What else? So that was Friday. Friday was kind of a shit show. Saturday, 2 sessions. The first one was for members, and I thought the member session was gonna be more like beer nerd. Let me try this beer and talk about it and kind of thing. Saturday. So there's
What's
2
that?
shannon Saturday, the morning and the evening. The morning one, well, I guess not morning, like noon or whatever.
Yeah.
That was pretty morning for me that week. The morning one, Shannon and I came over and slung some pretzels so you guys could go drink it up a little bit. And that was probably the drunkest of all the sessions, I think. I thought Friday was going to be the worst. Saturday morning was the worst.
They were pretty drunk coming up to the booth.
They
You guys
were
handled the
shittered.
booth pretty much the whole time. And as we were cruising the festival, I was like, "You're wearing necklaces. You're wearing our necklaces." So I was like, "Man, they're selling them." But
We're slanging.
yeah, I didn't really notice the totally hammered. Probably because I was starting to get a little hammered. Just because it was time to do it.
It's what we're there for. So, but yeah, Saturday morning to me, and maybe it's just because I was sober, because I was, selling shit, sober
Yeah.
adjacent. Maybe I noticed it more, but I just felt like everyone was pretty shittered that day. And it was like 12:30 and they're stumbling
Right.
up to the table. I was like, yeah, fucking
It was
champ.
definitely different than
Do
expected.
you think
'cause,
anybody
yeah,
pre-games?
they must have.
I think
You know-
Friday they had to. Friday they were so drunk so early. There's no way they didn't pregame.
Right.
And it didn't start till 5. So what are you going to do from noon to 5? Drink.
That's a valid
You're
point.
going to drink. And those tasting glasses were tiny. Even if
Yeah.
you're just popping from person to person, you cannot drink enough that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to pregame.
Well, and there's like the normal, I don't know, what would you call it, like 2-3 ounce tasting glasses, whatever they
Mhm.
were. Most festivals, I'm telling people, don't fill it up all the way. This festival, I think they're only allowed to pour an ounce at a time. I'm like, hey, bud,
Yeah.
can I get a little bit more so I don't have to go wait in this long line without any beer? Like, I was begging for beer at some points.
Ridiculous.
It's
Now,
weird.
and then the members had bigger glasses. You notice that?
Yeah, they were slightly bigger, and they were a
They
little
were-
more generous during that session with their
Yes,
pours.
and they were bigger glasses because we had to like calibrate our hold my beer necklaces to their larger glass, and they were like at least twice the size. So I think they got a little bigger pours,
Yeah.
but still they were not. Well, and then they ran out by Saturday night. Everyone was running out.
Yeah, bigger pours, but
So-
it showed that they got bigger.
It showed.
And then Saturday night was I don't know, it was surprisingly slow compared to Saturday
Yeah.
morning.
Agreed. And the music wasn't quite what like Friday night had grunge. It was awesome. Saturday morning or whatever that wasn't bad if I remember right. But like Saturday night
morning there was no band. That's why
there
it
was no
wasn't
band.
bad.
That's what it was. Okay, that was it. So it would have been nice to have some music, but Saturday night just didn't really quite have the vibe. I think.
So the Neck Nosh booth was in what they called the backyard, which was right across from the stage, and like the Thursday night music was a little grating and the
Trombone-y?
yeah, trombone. And then Saturday night was not the best either. It was a little rough on the old Ojos.
Yeah, it was.
Wait,
Friday
Ojos
was the
are
jam.
eyes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are
Um,
yours?
Oejos?
I forget.
It's something like that.
German, it's Oren.
Okay, I'll take that.
There's a J
Oh.
in there.
So somewhere. But-
in the Spanish one.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here was my take. People were asking me like, how was it as a festival? Would you go again? I've had many people ask me that. And my take is I would absolutely go again, especially, like with the right group. So like if, the group wanted to go again or even bigger, like Coley and Flexi, the real Flexi or
The real
whatever.
me.
The real you,
Real.
the 3DU wanted to go. Like I would absolutely go with the group. Here was my take on the beer though. overall not the best beer I've ever had in my life.
It's not. It's very generic for the
Yeah.
most part. I was trying to think of my favorite, and they were just some like, Prairie had a, I think it was a rainbow sherbet or something, and then WeldWorks had some cool cheesecakes. So it was kind of like
Yeah.
that out there stuff. But yeah, you're definitely not like, wow, I had the most amazing pale ale. I mean, they were all right,
Yeah.
So you're just cruising around, just trying to just keep
But that
cup full.
the first thing you said with a Prairie Artisan, that rainbow
Mhm.
sherbet is like a shelfie.
Oh, is it?
What's that?
Yeah,
What's
it's like
that?
it's like a flagship. Like you can find it almost anywhere when it's
Oh.
released.
Oh, see, in
Really?
California,
Yeah.
it's not so common.
So that makes me wonder if it's if people just kind of put their big beers out like that.
They might. So the wife and I, we basically were like, hey, let's go try. They divided it by sections, like Pacific Northwest and South and East and whatever, Northeast. So let's go try a bunch of breweries we've never even heard of before. Let's do some real research here. And we got, so many breweries in, and we were just begging to go back to California. Like, let's go have
Way
some good
better.
shit.
Wow.
I here's what I think happened. Festivals like Firestone Walker Invitational and Lagerville out here, they are invite only. GABF, if you want
I
to
know.
fucking slap down a check and show up with some kegs, they'll take you no matter who you are. And I think we ran into a lot of people trying to get their name out there and willing to
Yeah.
pay the entrance fee to get into GABF.
Does
And the
anybody know
representation-
the entrance fee for that? Like for a brewery?
No, I'm sure I could look it up somewhere. but-
Honestly, don't know. Yeah, I heard that it has gotten more expensive, and they had less breweries, and that queue that they had. So if you waited in the general line, they used to like just have everybody line up, and then at the same time you got your ID scanned and everybody let in. But they did it, a little smarter this time and had like this, get your ID scan, then you could queue up and wait.
Mm.
But that holding tank area took out a ton of space for breweries.
yeah.
So that was one thing. But yeah, I mean, we used to have so many great Sacramento breweries represent there. This year, not so much. So I think it's a number of things. They're building it back up, right? After COVID.
I guess.
This is only the second year they've had it since.
Yeah.
Second year since COVID. So they're building it back up. So the attendance is a little bit lower. But also, yeah, it's not going to be your like big heavy hitters. And the people pouring are volunteers mostly.
For the most part, yeah. Breweries can choose to send reps to pour, but
Mhm.
if they don't, they just send kegs and,
Yeah.
and volunteers. The funny thing is, like, you'd see drunk beer nerds talking to the volunteers like they worked for the brewery.
Oh,
like,
right.
Oh man, this IPA is so good. Like, you must dry hop it, blah blah blah. And like, yeah, thanks, man.
People actually talk like that in public?
when they're hammered, they absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And they're like
yeah.
trying to, pump them for information and
Trying
not
to-
getting the fact.
Yeah, trying to schmooze the brewer, but little do they know it's some drunk dude that lives down the street who's volunteering so he can drink
Yeah,
for
just
free.
wanted free tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, Lakefront Brewery. That's in Wisconsin. I don't know. Is it anywhere near you?
It's in Milwaukee. Yeah, it's like the biggest craft brewery in the state, I believe.
They had a huge end cap.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, they had probably at least, I don't know, maybe 10 beers.
Yeah, I had that
Right by our
Lagoza
spot. It's some
Crusher.
good stuff, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lagoza Rita was good.
Yeah, they do. They're like not traditional styles so much, but they just stick to their guns. What they've been doing for
Yeah.
the last 30 years. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Good
think
stuff.
the perfect summary of like the quality of breweries that were there was it was me, the wife, and Jacob going around. We got there and he was floating. He was on a little bit of a break, and so we're like, hey, let's go drink some beers. So he picked a couple breweries, and they were both not fantastic. And he was even like, yeah, these aren't that great. And I was like, what do you like? And he goes, I like X and Y and blah, blah. I was like, you like a good IPA? He goes, yeah. I said, hazy or clear? He goes, both. I was like, all right, come with me. And so we went over to California. I was like, this is Pure Project. I was like,
Here's a good representation.
have anything that they offer. And then he goes, oh, you're right. This is really good. And right next door to Pure, this is Radiant. Have
Radiant,
anything
yeah.
they have to
Oh,
offer.
nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that row right there, that row was
Malibu,
insane.
yeah.
It was Pizza Port, Pure,
Mhm.
Radiant, and Russian River, all right next to each other. It's like,
Yeah.
how is the rest of the festival going to compete with this one row?
Agreed.
We hung out there for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Nice.
probably just hang by the pure tent and just.
They were always the first one to kick all their kegs. You'd walk by like an hour in, all their kegs were kicked.
That's not a
Definitely.
shocker. Everything you've sent me from them, that's not a shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Radiant
They're
was kicking
amazing.
most of their kegs. Russian River must have brought a lot of beer because they always had a line and they weren't kicking they were kicking one or two per session, but they weren't kicking everything. My favorite was like all the out of towners for Californians, all the people not from California who saw Russian River, and you hear them go, "Oh, Russian River," and then like beeline for like, yeah,
For
buddy.
sure.
Did they have all their big names there or what?
They had Pliny and like double dry hopped Pliny and a couple of sour. I mean, it was stuff you've mostly heard of, and a couple of their smaller things that don't get distro so much. So
Okay.
yeah, they had some good. I mean, it's Russian River. They had some good beer, of course. So.
Yeah.
They had some cool stuff though, like the silent disco. Okay, that's the first time I tried the silent disco. Have you ever done one of those, Flex?
I've seen people do them.
Okay, they seem so
there's a
dumb,
brewery
but they're not.
here that does it, and it actually looked like a lot of fun.
It's way more fun than it looks. Once you get those headphones on, you're like in another time zone and you do not give a shit about anyone around you. You are having the best time ever, and you can like flip the stations. And I mean,
I have video of
Oh,
Erica
so
that
everybody
would
isn't
prove
listening
that's
to
true.
just the same thing?
You did not take
I
video.
absolutely did.
Holy no. That is sacred ground right there. You do not video the silent disco. Like that's written
Your brother
somewhere.
put me up to it.
Did he? What
Yeah.
an asshole.
Yeah, that guy.
But
He's
no,
huge. He might beat me up if I didn't
He
listen
is.
to
That's
him.
true. I would absolutely do anything he told me to do.
Yeah.
He's scary. Remember, he drank a whole keg in like 2 days. So,
Mhm.
Jesus.
He's huge and he's my hero.
but that silent disco, I recommend any listener out there, if you ever have an opportunity to try a silent disco. My sister-in-laws were like, "You're coming with us," and I'm glad I found it on the last night, because I'd be like, "We're shutting down Neck Nosh, everybody. We're going to the silent disco."
So everybody doesn't just listen to the same thing?
You have like 3 or 4 stations, and then there's a DJ there kind of like, mixing up.
I didn't
music.
realize there
So
was options.
Yeah, it's like a
that makes me
hip-hop
not
and
like it. I wish there was just like the one song everybody could vibe to.
I don't know, because sometimes that song just kind of sucks.
True.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah.
And then you can see, you don't know what color you're on, like it's red, blue, or green or whatever. And then you can see what other people are on. You're like, oh, they're on red. I wonder if I'm red. Am I on the same, and you're just kind of jamming. Then you see like you're bumping at the same beat. Yes, you're on red too. That's awesome. So it's so fun. Oh my gosh. I love me a silent disco.
Okay.
That's it.
That was like the longest line of the entire place. Was that sound?
It was a long wait.
You're not the only one. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it for GABF. I will say shout out to, and I took a picture of this place so I wouldn't forget it. Von Ebert Brewing out of Portland. Amongst all the mediocre beer that I was drinking, they had some amazing wild fermented sours, and I was so glad I stopped by. And the guy was like, "Yeah," and he didn't work for the place. He goes, "Yeah, you should try this one." I was like, "Yeah, I'll try it." And he goes, "And if you like that, we got this other one." They had 2. They were both amazing. I was like, "Oh, we're coming back." And I tried to get Erica back there, and like anybody I could get. And I don't know if it was Erica or somebody else. By the time we got back, they were like already out of it.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe that was the case.
Yeah, I was sad. It was really good. I'm not surprised that they were out. It was clearly one of the best in that area. So
Hey, shout out to you and Shannon though for like coming and taking over the booth, even though like that was just so cool, and you guys helped out a ton, and you were
We had
shouting
fun.
out it was awesome. I'm so glad you guys were there.
Yeah, I had
It
no
was
idea
fun.
you guys did that either. That was fucking awesome.
yeah,
It was cool.
I told him, I was like, go fucking drink. Peek behind the curtain, Erica got tickets for having a booth there, a certain amount of tickets, and had some left over. So one way or another, we ended up being at every session. Like Friday, we were there late, but we got there.
That was
And
a
then
lot.
we had bought tickets to 2 of the 4, and then we ended up going to the other 2 because of those tickets. And I was like, fuck it, why don't you guys go enjoy yourselves, and we'll sell some carbs. And yeah, it was good. It was
Right on,
fun.
man.
Drunk people are hilarious, so we had a good time.
They're pretty fun
So.
for the most part.
Plus, I like handling cash.
Yeah.
There's something
Give
nice
me your
about
money.
counting out cash and having it all face the same direction.
He was just sitting there like wave it in the air. I'm like, put
Yeah.
it away, Greg. You're supposed to put it in the box.
No, I will not. Anyways, did I miss anything? Any special shout outs or anything I missed from GABF?
No, I think that's a pretty good. I mean, there's just so much we could talk
Yeah.
about. It was a four like really like fun and exhausting days, and we did it. We nailed it.
Yeah.
So
And then before GABF on Friday, we went to Rare Beer, Pints for Prostates.
that's right.
Hung out with Davis. Flex
Yeah,
was,
that's right. You guys called me.
Yeah, we tried.
Oh,
That's right. We tried.
did you guys call Flex?
Yeah, we tried to
Yeah.
face.
Was it-
Davis wanted to FaceTime him.
Oh,
So
that's right. I remember seeing hearing him.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
we got the FaceTime going, but then we didn't realize how fucking loud it was in the
Dude,
building.
It was fucking loud.
We couldn't hear a word you were saying. I was like, oh, poor Flex.
Which was funny because I could hear you guys clear as day.
Oh, I figured you
Aw.
could. I'm sure
Yeah, it
we
was
were
great.
yelling because it was so loud. Not
Yeah.
a fucking clue you were saying the entire
I just
time.
know
but
Davis was bummed out that I wasn't wearing, or that I was wearing a shirt.
We all were.
That's what he was bummed out about.
Yeah, it wasn't
yes.
just Davis, let me tell
Well.
you. But yeah, hung out with Davis and Brian and his friend Greg, who we've all met before, so that was fun. And then his son was there also, who works for Avery as like an educator. He just drinks beer and tells people about it. I was like, it's the best fucking job in the
cool.
world.
Best job in the world.
Asshole.
They were great people, though. It
Yeah.
was really fun
Yeah.
meeting them.
Davis was awesome. Hung out with him a little at GABF too, because he was volunteering on Saturday. But yeah, just 3 floors of motor oil. I mean,
It was a lot.
it was fun, and the food was actually really good too. They had like a
Oh, so
barbecue
good.
buffet, really good food. But by the end of it, I was like, "Fuck, can I just get a Pilsner in here? Like, is there a lager I could drink or something?" There's only so much of this motor oil I can put inside of me.
Totally.
Yeah, we did
That's
find
heavy.
one place that was pouring a hazy IPA. I think they missed the memo or something. But the last half an hour, Shannon and I just kept going. Like, hey, can we get a little IPA? They're like, yeah. They clearly didn't recognize us because they kept telling us about it every time. Like, oh yeah, it's like 6.5%. But like, oh, sounds great. I'd like to try
Wow,
that,
great,
please.
Awesome. I'll tell my friends about it.
Yeah, we pounded.
It
Some
would
of
have
that
been great
shit.
if they didn't tell you, and then like you took a sip of it, and you're like, "Wow, this tastes like about 6.5%." Is that right?
Yeah. A lot of mosaic in here. Is that? Yeah. Oh yeah, I can taste it. Yeah. So,
It's
yeah.
the berry notes, guys. Yeah, that's what it is.
But yeah, rare beer was fun. Just a good fucking time
Oh,
in
man.
Denver. I love me some Denver. So
That was great.
I think that covers it. Now I'm going to read everybody the results of the winners of Great American Beer Festival.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. That take forever. I'll put a link.
I know it's a shit ton.
Yeah, I think I can put a
I-
link up in the show notes. I'll do that for everybody.
I saw somebody post like they're from a certain state and they were circling all the winners from their state, and there was like 27 pages of winners. I'm
Probably.
just like, holy ball sacks!
Yeah.
Like that's how many types of beers are there?
Apparently a lot. I will real
lot.
quickly run down the brewery of the year winners. They do it by size of brewery. So the 501 to 1,000 barrel brewery of the year was Balter Beer Works out of Knoxville. 1,001 to 2,000 barrels was Third Eye Brewing out of Sharonville, Ohio. This one I was surprised pleasantly to see. Liquid Gravity Brewing got the 2001 to
Oh.
5,000 barrel. We were sitting at our friend's brewery. We were sitting there watching the awards, and Liquid Gravity came on. They won a few awards, and then all of a sudden they won the brewery of the year. I was like, holy shit, look at those guys.
Dang.
Good for them.
Yeah. 5,001 to 15,000 barrels was Wibby Brewing out of Longmont, Colorado. 15,001 to 100,000 barrels was St. Arnold out of Texas.
Pretty
And-
popular in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it?
I mean they're
Oh,
out here slightly. And then Brewery Group, Brewery and Brewer of the Year. Have you guys heard of this? Allagash Brewing?
Yeah, Allagash.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
heard
pretty
of it.
Yeah.
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 here and there. I've heard
Yeah,
of
a
it.
little bit.
I mean-
So
Good for them for breaking through this year.
yeah. And this was kind of cool. So the 0 to 250 barrels brewery and brewer of the year went to Shred Beer Co. in Rockland, California.
Oh, that's here. That's brand new.
Yeah, not only is it brand
What?
new, but one of the co-founders, Amy, is the
Came from Slice.
came
sorry.
she came from Aero Lodge.
Okay. And then one of them came from Slice. There's some controversy around that brewery.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Well,
Interesting.
Amy at Aero Lodge did some fucking fantastic beer. So excited to get
Wow.
up there and try me some Shred.
That is so cool. You guys need to make a visit. We haven't
Yeah.
even been out there yet, but I always think of Shred. I'm like, I got to go there. I got to tag
I was
Shred.
say, is that the
you know, do
controversy?
thing.
Is he pissed that they took his name?
Right.
He's probably
There's
got that
some,
copyright.
yeah. There's some copyright
Yeah.
issues going on. But,
Although he's got the second
how
D
cool
in
is
it.
that?
That's
so
true.
as
Only
long
one
as-
D in the brewery.
does.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well.
got to
Sounds
get that
real
double
dirty.
D.
Yeah.
Nice. More D. Always better.
Yeah, get a little more D in the Bend Over Festival. And,
Yeah, we haven't had Deb on in a while. I got to represent.
yeah, someone's
Oh,
got
that
to.
girl.
shit. Yeah, those are dicks.
All right. We've been flapping our gums over here long enough. Let's answer the most important
Please.
question of the night.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are
At
bigger
least it's
than
not the
growlers,
slow version.
only one tongue can guide us. One man.
4
one tongue,
hours later.
One tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
All right, so I did a little homework, and I knew we were recording today, so I was like, you know what? Went to the zoo, coming back home, the beer stores on the way home from the zoo. I said, all right, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to get some beers for tonight, right? Like a good co-host would.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes I like to think I'm a good co-host.
Putting in the
You're
effort.
always.
Yeah, just a little bit. My first beer ever from these guys, I'm kind of shocked. Transient Artisan Ales out of Bridgman, Michigan.
Okay.
Which is shocking that this is the first one because they're right across the pond,
They're in England?
Well, in here we call Lake Michigan
Oh.
pond in Wisconsin. So yeah, like I said, they're out of Michigan. It's a pale ale, an American pale ale, it says on the can. It's 6% ABV, and the beer is called Cromulent. I don't know what that word means. I didn't look it up. I don't know if it's a real word. If anybody knows it, please.
Sounds like a Star Trek kind of thing.
Right.
I thought of Coneheads,
Oh,
but when they go back to the home planet, they go back to Remulac. But for some reason,
So apparently I've looked this word up before because it was purple in my Google search.
that's weird.
oh.
Yeah. Acceptable or adequate?
Okay. Well, apparently it's more than that because Untapped over 7,000 check-ins has it at a 4.01. So I would
Damn.
say that
Nice.
is above Cromulent.
Yeah, more than Cromulent. Sure.
And a real quick description, it says this beautiful American pale ale is embiggened by copious amounts of Mosaic and Simcoe hops, and I love that word copious. Which just a little side note. Fun
Goes
fact
well with
about
the
Flex.
Cromulent.
Yeah. So this is very aromatic when we dig the schnoz in there. Lots of tropical notes. I'm getting like mostly like hopped up mango. It's pretty wild. Tiny hints of guava, not super dupery guava, but enough that it's there. So we dig in here with the old. It's been a while.
Still works.
The anticipation.
Great color on that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's so bright.
Okay, so this really is phenomenal. You're right. The color on the beer is like for a pale.
It's party.
That it is pale. It is fantastic. And the flavor, a lot more pineapple here on the old tongue jobber.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the mango fades, and it's like a real delicate flavor, like exactly what you would expect out of a pale. And there's on the schnoz, there's a little bit of that malt character to it as you'd expect out of a pale, but it is nowhere on the palate, and it is fucking phenomenal.
Nice.
This is a really well done beer, and there's a reason that it has such the rating that does, the high rating. That this is fantastic. And you want to talk Flex algorithms?
Yes.
I don't know, this can, it's just
Whoa.
Very simple.
yeah, very simple but very
Mesmerizing.
Appealing.
appealing. It's like trees but
But not.
arrows. I don't know. It's great. And $12.99 for a 4-pack of 6% beers. So
That's
I'd take that. I'd take that any
Yeah.
day.
That fits the algorithm there.
Yeah, so Transient Artisan Ale, you are Flex approved.
Make yourself or make your way across the pond more often.
Yeah, congratulations. It's actually, I haven't seen them around often. I think this is maybe like the second or third time I've ever seen their stuff at my shop, at least. I'm pretty lazy and don't make it out too far.
But you went to the zoo today, and I'm sorry, but that video of the hippo, like you were right there.
Yeah, you go right to the glass. Yeah.
And it's just right in front of you. Just
That's where they always
up on
are.
the glass. That's amazing.
That was pretty
It's
cool.
great.
I've never seen that.
And hippos
That's
are my
cool.
favorite animal. So like when our zoo made that exhibit, I just about came everywhere.
That-
They
Say
get
that?
really aggressive too, don't they?
yeah, they're like the meanest animals in Africa.
They are the most dangerous land animal.
Yeah.
I know that.
Even though they hang out in the water. When
And
I
they
was,
can't swim.
yeah, exactly. When we were at the Denver Zoo trying to kill time before we could check into our hotel, we were over at the elephant area, and it was great because one of the elephants just had the Here you go, Deb. Fucking biggest boner ever. Like just like that
Did you
thing.
send her a picture?
Yeah, I should. Oh my god, damn it! I
Go to
should.
debsdicks.com.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That thing was
No
swinging.
posting elephant dicks.
That's a special paid section. That thing was swinging to the ground, and the best part about it was not just that I was impressed, but there was this mom there with her kid. The kid seemed bored and was like staring at something else, and she goes, whatever the kid's name was, like, Billy, come on, look at the elephant. I'm like, you're calling him over to look at his fifth leg, like maybe give him a second to cool off a little bit before you call the kid over. It was kind of funny.
Awkward.
Get ready for a conversation, Mom.
Well,
Yeah, right?
apparently,
Here
an
you go.
elephant's vagina is like the length of a human's small intestines. Then that's what it sounds like.
At least times two.
Well,
Yeah, it was
Erica's
giant.
looking puzzled. Your small intestines, if they're like unraveled, are like 26 feet long or something.
It's
like that.
something insanely
Dang.
long, yeah.
Yeah. So if you
Wow.
got this thing hanging to the ground,
Dude, it was legit
Wow.
almost touching the ground.
we're talking about
Well,
elephant
they're
dicks.
proportional. I mean, if, one part's this way, you got to have a proportional.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
Look.
that single elephant really just plays just the tip. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Really don't.
Yeah. I'm
Need to know.
I'm just going to keep us moving right along
Yeah,
here,
what's next?
everybody.
Wow. It was pretty weird.
Get the paddles.
Clear.
Boom. I do want to quickly mention that October 14th, Brittany over at Naughty Pine is doing another charity night for Maui and, helping the whole Maui situation. So if you're in the region, go over to Naughty Pine October 14th. Go check that out. Proceeds go to, I forget the name of the charity, sorry, but to help Maui. And she'll post more about it. I just heard about it today as we record, and I don't know if I'm supposed to share it yet. All right. News flight. Sign the Bill, Phil is a beer collaboration among a ton of breweries in New Jersey. Phil is the governor there. And he's had a bill on his desk to help ease restrictions against breweries for months now, and it's just sitting there. So now, just like they did the wildfire beer in California, and now they're doing the Maui one, New Jersey is doing a collab beer called Sign the Bill, Phil.
I
Nice.
like it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Fuck you, Phil. You fucking
Right.
weirdo.
I like it.
And Virginia, they have now allowed craft breweries to have the option to self-distribute their own beer. Thanks to an addition in Virginia's budget by the State General Assembly, Virginia's Department of Ag and Consumer Services now has a division, the Virginia Beer Distribution Company. So instead of just like erasing laws that says you can't self-distro, they actually created their own distro company so you can self-distro. And you just claim it's through the Virginia Beer Distribution Company. It's kind of
Brilliant.
interesting.
Loophole.
Observing.
I love it.
Yeah, loophole. That's probably much easier to pass than repealing something. So, that's cool. I get it. You can self-distribute up to 500 barrels of beer annually through the VBDC's license. So they estimate that 100 breweries will self-distribute under 500 barrels, and that can bring $6.9 million in revenue annually to the state. So it only makes financial sense.
Hear that, New Jersey?
Yeah,
Financial sense.
financial sense.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Here's a story we've been following for a while now. Tilray, who bought a bunch of brands from Anheuser-Busch, finally closed on Monday for the price of $83.4 million. And those brands they picked up, once again, Shock Top, Blue Point, Breckenridge, Red Hook, Highball Energy, which had already closed,
Gross.
Widmer Brothers, 10 Barrel Brew Company, and Square Mile Cider Company.
Wow.
The best part, over the weekend, as soon as it was leaked or disclosed or whatever, 10 Barrel Brewing, out the balcony of their brewery, put a huge sign that said, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, now with less Anheuser-Busch.
Okay.
It was great. I don't know. I liked it.
Oh,
That was
it's
funny.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and did this whole post about how they're glad to not be under the AB umbrella anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really funny, but at the same time, it was like, hey, you were the fucks that sold. So,
Right.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
like-
it's new ownership. Who knows?
yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I guess they didn't like being under the AB umbrella there. So, good job to all you.
Price. Yeah.
So, I didn't realize this. I guess technically by the the definition, they're craft again. I did not think Tilray was considered craft, but I guess they are. So Shock Top is craft beer, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Gross.
Yeah. Go get you some
Do
Shock
they
Top.
have any more beers than they had like a lemonade one and then just like
did they?
the Belgian white.
I mean, there's like the orange Belgian wit that everyone has thrown up over. They have more than just that.
I remember them having some kind of like lemonade, almost like a shandy thing once.
Oh, I don't remember. If I've had it, I'm
do
glad
they
I don't
do
remember.
anything more than that?
I don't think so. I think they had like an apple something at one point.
Can they get
I
away
thought
from
they
the
were just-
fruit?
I didn't realize they were a brewery. I thought Shock Top was like a type of beer from a brewery until you guys talked about it like not that long ago.
No, I think
Like,
Shock
just
Top
had
is
no
like
idea.
Blue Moon.
Yeah.
You know, where everyone calls it just Shock Top or Blue Moon.
Because that's all
That's
you
exactly what it
associate.
is.
Yeah, but I think they have other. I think at one point they had an apple something. I remember it being in a bottle with red instead of
gross.
orange.
One time in
terrible.
like 2000 and it had to be like 2010 or 11.
So 2000 and late.
And it was when the pumpkin beers were
Mm.
just making a rise.
Yeah.
And Blue Moon came out with one. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try this because I really enjoy the lakefront.
what's going on in my mouth.
The Lakefront Brewing does a pumpkin lager up here, and it is like the best thing since sliced pumpkin pie. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try this Blue Moon one. And it tasted like nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
It tasted
kinda
like
surprising.
absolutely nothing.
Wow.
One of the sickest I've ever seen someone is getting hammered on Blue Moon pumpkin. Not Shock Top, but Blue Moon. It was...
Oof.
Yeah, so I said Blue Moon. Yeah, I had Blue Moon pumpkin.
Yeah.
Did I say
Didn't Lakefront have that pumpkin lager at their booth?
Oh, if
Greg?
they did, I completely
I
avoided
tried it. I'm pretty sure I did. It was good.
It's so good.
And their Oktoberfest.
It did have the
anyways,
Oktoberfest,
that's just a
yes.
side note. Yeah, it was good.
Lagoza Rita was my favorite.
Yeah, that was good too.
So good.
It was right there. It was the only one that was right there. So I'd run off and like, okay,
Yeah.
Lakefront, hook me up.
Here we go.
Okay, we're going back.
I know.
But,
We-
okay.
we needed to come by more often and refill your cups.
You guys did all right.
Did
I
okay.
needed to focus.
Part of the problem was the fucking little pores.
They're so tiny.
So tiny. It's like, I'm getting this for someone who can't leave their booth.
It's
Give
going
us
to
a bigger
evaporate
pour.
by the time I get. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
By evaporate, the guy bringing it might have drank some.
Right. Splish splash.
Oh, look at that. Half of it's gone. What do you know?
Whoops.
A California judge upholds the Stone Molson Coors trademark verdict and denies new trial. If you guys remember, I mean, since Stone has been craft, they were in a lawsuit over Molson Coors and the whole Keystone thing, and the cans look like they said Stone. Anyways, Molson Coors requested a new trial, tried to throw out the verdict, and a judge has upheld the decision. I forgot Stone only got $56 million of like the 200 something they requested. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. They didn't get that much money in the end. Losers.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Remember
Anywho.
when they offered you beer after they had sold?
Yeah.
We can cut that out.
I just didn't respond. I didn't want to be mean. Thanks for the beer, but
Oh.
we're not going to talk about it on the show because you're not friends anymore. Look, the amount, I think I've said this on the show. We could talk about it. Like the amount of
Yeah.
shit we would get from beer nerds just wasn't worth free beer. Like I'd take free beer if you just want to send me free beer, but I'm not going to talk about it. And I think
Yeah.
they wanted us to talk about it. So
Respectable.
yeah, Stone's biggest issue with their marketing with like influencers. Oh God, I just called myself an influencer.
You did.
Oh.
Was they kept over and over sending Stone IPA, just like, oh, we repackaged it. It's in a new can. It's like, you guys, we've all been drinking this since 1997. No one needs a refresher on Stone IPA. Send us something new so we can be excited
Right.
about it and post about it. No one cares that you bought someone's artwork and put it on the fucking Stone IPA can. Still tastes like Stone IPA. That's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a thing. And we've all fucking had it. And the people you want us to promote to have definitely had it. How about something new and exciting?
All
Just
right.
saying.
The truth?
no, I think that's great. Please tell us more how you feel.
Yeah. Get honest.
And then...
And then.
All right.
And then.
No more and then. All right. I think that's
I
everything.
love you guys for that one.
And you. All right. I'm going to hit some music over here. I'm going to say hello to Vanessa.
Oh, what up, Vanessa?
Hey, Vanessa.
And I'm going to tell everybody to go check us out on the socials. At Craft Beer Republic. At Flex Me Beer underscores in between it. At Necknosh LLC. Also the underscores. craftbeerpod.com, 805-53-BEER. That's 2337. I do think that's everything. Hope everyone's staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
Good night, everybody.